Oof, Microsoft picks, I think, the worst times to announce some of this stuff, and this is definitely a bad time to announce a price hike of the Xbox Series X as well as Game Pass, just kind of out of the blue. Now, this is something that Sony did last year, and Microsoft at the time was like, well, we're going to kind of hold what we got for right now. But yeah, this is kind of crazy news. Microsoft is increasing its Xbox Series X prices in most countries in August, apart from the US, Japan, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia. The Xbox maker is also increasing the monthly prices of its Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions for the first time next month, which will see the base Game Pass subscription for console move up to $10.99 a month from $9.99, so you get a $1 a month increase there. And this is what they said. We've held our prices for consoles for many years and have adjusted the prices to reflect the competitive conditions in each market, according to Carrie Perez, head of communications for Xbox, in a statement to The Verge. Xbox Series X console prices will largely match the price hike Sony announced for the PS5 last year, with the Xbox Series X moving to $479.99 in the UK, $549.99 across most European markets, $649 in Canada, and $799 in Australia starting August 1st. The Xbox Series S pricing will not be adjusting in any markets, remaining $249.99. While Xbox Series X pricing adjustments had been expected after Sony's move last year, Xbox chief Phil Spencer also hinted in October that pricing for subscriptions wouldn't hold forever. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass for console pricing will be increasing starting July 6th. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will move from $14.99 a month to $16.99 a month, which is a $2 price increase. The base Xbox Game Pass for console pricing will also move from $9.99 a month to $10.99 a month. Microsoft is not changing PC Game Pass pricing, however. If you're an existing Game Pass monthly subscriber, then these new reoccurring prices won't take effect until August 13th or September 15th or 13th in Germany. New Xbox Game Pass members will see the new prices immediately on July 6th. If you're subscribed to Game Pass, though, a yearly code, the new pricing won't affect until you go to renew your subscription. So, like, for me personally, I've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate through 2025. So we should see a situation where that's going to hold and will still be good until, things happen when I have to renew or whatever. So yeah, it'll depend on kind of what's going on in the gaming world. But yeah, that's pretty surprising news. Again, most markets will be affected by the Game Pass subscription increases, with the exception of some Game Pass console pricing, which will remain the same in multiple places. Microsoft hasn't changed its Game Pass pricing since launching the subscription in 2017, and the company is keen to stress this isn't related to the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. These game-based pass price adjustments are not related to that and are intended to match local market conditions, according to Perez. Microsoft's Xbox subscription changes follow a general trend in price hikes over the past couple of years for entertainment subscriptions. Netflix raised prices again last year following gradual price hikes in recent years, and Disney Plus and Hulu saw steep price hikes last year. Apple Music and Spotify have both increased in prices in most markets in most years. Nintendo has not yet adjusted its Switch Online subscription service since launching it in 2018, and Sony only just updated its own PlayStation Plus subscription last year with new essential tiers that raised prices as well. So, again, this is not the best of news at the best of time, but the way that I kind of look at this is, the Game Pass thing isn't as much of a surprise as the console price hike. I think that is silly to do a console price hike in these markets where you were already getting heavily outsold by Sony, and Sony had raised the price, so you had actually much cheaper options than PlayStation, and now you're going to raise the price of your console even though you're already getting outsold. So I mean, you can look at it that way. Also look at it that I always look at like price cuts. Like if you go back to what Microsoft and Sony were doing in the Xbox 360 era, if you go back to that, Sony cut price on the PS3 numerous times, and not only did they cut price on the PS3 numerous times, but it was like not a special, right? Like you might see this Xbox Series S go on sale for like $249 or whatever, and I think that's fine. but at the same time, you would see that, the base price would always go back, and that's what we would see. Now, when it comes to this, I feel like what Microsoft is doing is really just not a smart thing. Um, and and I don't understand the thought process behind it. It boggles my mind, to say the least. And I hope, I'm sure there's going to be pushback, and I'm sure that people are going to be talking about this, and it is a negative thing. I just think that people have to keep things in perspective a little bit, because let's just be real here. Sony did the exact same thing last year, and we talked about it, so I'm going to talk about it here. And I think that it's silly to do that, and I also think that it's silly for people to really kind of hate on that as well, since if you're going to hate on one, you'll have to hate on the others as well. So yeah, very interesting to say the least. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have a lot of faux concern in terms of what's kind of happening with this. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. This is kind of funny, interesting to me, because like I said, so many people, like PlayStation fans, I think, are stuck, because what can you really say? Honestly, Sony did the same thing last year, so it's like, can you really get on Microsoft for this? I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like you can. It seems like, if anything, Sony paves the way for this type of thing to happen. So I don't know. It's crazy to see this happen. It's crazy to see the gamers' reactions and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but definitely not a great time for Microsoft to do that. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot. They had a bunch of, they had a bunch of positive momentum, and it seems like they just kind of killed themselves. I don't get it at all. So, I can understand people's frustrations with it. I'm kind of flabbergasted. They picked like the worst times. Like, literally everybody was talking Xbox. Xbox is such a great value. Starfield looks great. This looks great. And now it's like, I still think Game Pass is great, and like $1 price hike for the lower tier, $2 for the higher doesn't seem huge to me. But I'm sure for a lot of people, $15 is a nice kind of round number. And now it's like $17. You're creeping in on that $20 mark, which I think would make some people a little bit more apprehensive. But again, even like GameFly, the rental service, just raised their prices, so you kind of understand it a bit. But again, seeing everything raised up like this probably isn't the best look. But I think Microsoft held out as long as they could. They take a huge loss on the consoles that they sell. Again, Game Pass, apparently it's somewhat of a success, but we'll never know how much. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? I'm going to link this. Do you think it's bad news or just bad timing? Rack 'em up. Grab Gamer out.